Now on TechTonight, election aftermath. Virginia Tech works to bring together friends torn apart by the divisive election season.
Construction coming. One apartment complex looks to massively expand their housing options.
Among people being unfriended and unfollowed on Facebook due to the election, one Virginia Tech group is looking to bring people back together. Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Bailey Berticelli.
And I'm Rebecca Choate. The day after the election, VT Public and International Affairs held #Frenemies Day to hold conversations in an effort to mend broken relationships. After one of the most divisive elections in American history came to a head last week, Virginia Tech School of Public and International Affairs held an event to restore relationships that may have been strained during election season. The event, titled #Frenemies Day, was held on last Wednesday in the Graduate Life Center. Over light snacks and refreshments, Virginia Tech students, staff, and faculty over the age of 18 engaged in civil yet probing conversation around specific issues. Participants were held to ground rules and guidelines to promote civil discourse in an effort to better understand those they fundamentally disagreed with. This is the first VT Frenemies Day, and the conversations held will be used in a research study. The data collected on Wednesday may even be used in academic publications.
Those living on University City Boulevard are about to see major changes to an apartment complex. The owner of Sturbridge Square plans to tear down all but 2 buildings on the property in order to build 2 large apartment buildings and 2 townhouse-style complexes, according to town records. Sturbridge Square LLC has filed a rezoning request which would allow them to build 89 bedrooms per acre as opposed to their current situation, which allows 48 bedrooms per acre. The new development would more than double the present housing capacity. Sturbridge also has requested to buy over 3,000 square feet of land that sits nearby their property for the bus stop, sidewalk, and landscaping purposes. The new Sturbridge Square will add to the existing brand new residential housing movement that Blacksburg has seen over the past 3 years that offer luxurious living choices. Some of these new places include the Retreat and the Edge. While many are headed out of town for Thanksgiving break, let's see if people staying in town can expect to see the same chilly temperatures that we've been seeing all week.
Meteorologist Caitlin Purcell has your forecast. Caitlin?
Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Caitlin Purcell. This week has proven to be one of the most average weeks of fall weather we've experienced thus far, despite Thursday and Friday's above average temperatures in the mid-70s. For the majority of the week, highs were pretty typical for what we should be seeing in November, ranging anywhere from the mid-40s to lower 60s with clear skies overhead. Overnight lows were extremely cool, falling to the 30s most nights. As temperatures fall to 28 tonight, a slight chance of precipitation could bring us a few snowflakes overnight, but nothing to be concerned about. For those of you remaining in town, you can expect a drastic change in temperatures tomorrow due to this cold front moving into the region. Highs tomorrow will only reach about 40 degrees and 20-mile-per-hour winds will remain steady throughout the day, with gusts reaching up to 30 miles per hour. Overnight lows will fall to 27 degrees. The remainder of the week is looking to be fairly mild, starting out a bit warmer on Monday with a high of 44 and abundant sunshine. Things will warm up even more on Tuesday as highs reach 51 with partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows, however, will drop very low. On Thanksgiving, some clouds will move into the area, bringing a chance of showers throughout the day. I'm wishing you all safe travels as you head home and hope you enjoy your week off. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Purcell. Happy Thanksgiving.
With Thanksgiving break already here, reporter Max Caruth takes a look at what to expect on campus.
I'm outside DX Express, here to inform you of dining hall and dorm activities on campus during Thanksgiving break, and maybe provide a little sneak peek into what fellow Hokies are doing.
Blacksburg transit operations will be reduced through the week of Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving Day, all Blacksburg transit operations will close down. Normal dorm operations will end Saturday, November 19th at 10 a.m. for Thanksgiving break. The houses will reopen, however, on Friday, November 25th at 4 p.m. Virginia Tech dining halls will close on November 19th. And on Friday, November 25th, DX Express will reopen, and the following day, Dietz shall open. All other dining halls will open and follow.
There's this delicious place downtown, and I can always visit there. It's not too expensive. This is going to be great. Oh yeah, I'm going to work, basically. I'm doing this research project that I'm kind of lagging behind. I'm going to catch up on that.
Probably a lot of turkey, mashed potatoes. We don't really do anything that out of the ordinary for Thanksgiving.
If I'm thankful for anything, the first thing that comes to mind is Virginia Tech, really.
If you're staying in Blacksburg over Thanksgiving break, make sure to cheer on the Hokies on Saturday in hope of defeating UVA at Lane Stadium.
I'm Max Caruth with VTTV, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.
Americans across the country recognized Veterans Day last Friday, and Virginia Tech had a commemoration of its own. The Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets held their remembrance ceremony in honor of the service of American soldiers in the War Memorial Chapel. The ceremony kicked off with a speech by Colonel Kevin Milton, who oversees VT Army ROTC, followed by the placement of the memorial wreath in front of the cenotaph by President Sands and his wife. The color guard presented the colors to the sound of taps at 11, a time that is symbolic on Veterans Day. The signing of the armistice at the end of World War I took effect at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month of the year in 1918. The commemoration didn't end at 11, however. At 2 in the afternoon, volunteers from veterans at VT read the names of those killed during Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation New Dawn, a total of 6,800 names. At 4:45 in the evening, the Corps held a ceremony at the flagpole on Alumni Mall and lowered the flag, while the cannon was shot and the Highty-Tighties played. There were also 2 vigils, one 24 hours long and the other for 48 hours. The events over the weekend came to a head at the Veterans 5K Run, held once a year.
The 2017 Miss Virginia USA and Miss Virginia Teen USA state pageant is being held today and tomorrow at Virginia Tech in the Moss Arts Center. In conjunction with the pageant, there was a silent auction held yesterday evening called the Champions for a Cause Charity Auction. The auction included a meet and greet with the Miss Virginia USA and Miss Virginia Teen USA contestants and a high-fashion runway show that they walked in. The auction itself consisted of individual charities of each of the contestants in order to raise money. The pageant begins tonight at 8 and tomorrow evening at 6. Tickets are $25 for students and $35 to $45 for the public, depending on which night you choose. Coming up in your entertainment news, Virginia Tech announces another new living learning community. We'll show you what's in store.
Plus, the game ball for the Virginia Tech versus UVA game is making its way across the state. We'll give you a look at why it's for a good cause. Students came together to learn about culture over coffee. Welcome to your entertainment news. I'm Riley Wyant.
And I'm Lauren Pack. The Cranwell International Center Community Room held a coffee hour last Wednesday in Harper Hall. The talk, titled The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, was a cultural overview and display of traditional clothes and artifacts. The coffee hour had coffee, tea, dates, cookies, hummus, and more. There were also door prizes and name translations into Arabic. The coffee hour was held as part of Virginia Tech's International Week. It was hosted by the Saudi Students Club at Virginia Tech, which plans to organize cultural events to show Saudi culture and religion. Cranwell International Center hosts events with cultural clubs on campus on a regular basis and is a division of student affairs and strives to help international students adjust to American society and life at Virginia Tech.
This Is Home is more than just a Snapchat filter on Virginia Tech's campus this Thanksgiving season. VT dining facilities all over campus were serving delicious Thanksgiving meals to students last Wednesday to fill the students' hearts and bellies. Owens Hall and D2 were the 2 dining facilities featuring Thanksgiving buffets, while West End Market, as well as Fire Grill and Turner Place, created Thanksgiving specials on their menus. Each year, dining hall staff add Thanksgiving favorites this time of year to get students ready for the holiday season. Foods such as turkey, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes with gravy, cornbread stuffing, sweet potato casserole, and pumpkin pie were all available.
Innovate is a new living learning community at Virginia Tech and joins other communities including the Honors Residential Community, West Ambler Johnston, and more. Innovate focuses on entrepreneurship and is located in Pritchard Hall. The community hosted an open house last Tuesday in the Venture Lab on the first floor of Pritchard. Attendance at the event was one of many requirements for the application process. Innovate is open to students of all majors and strives to teach entrepreneurship, including strategy, marketing, finance, and other business practices. It is part of the Apex Systems Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship within the Pamplin College of Business. Interested students should embody the values of authenticity, community, inspiration, and entrepreneurship.
One organization on Virginia Tech's campus is running the UVA Virginia Tech Game Ball 158 miles in nearly 24 hours. The Brothers of Phi Gamma Delta fraternity physically run the game ball all the way from Charlottesville to Blacksburg every year for a greater cause. Fiji brothers from both UVA and Virginia Tech will begin their run around noon the day before the UVA versus Virginia Tech game and eventually deliver the game ball to the kickoff in the battle for the Commonwealth Cup. This event raises money for the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. Those with Fiji say that being a part of the traditional event is special for them.
Our football run is really just a great way to get in the Hokie spirit before the UVA Tech game and it's really just a great way for everyone to get involved in the state of Virginia, because UVA chapter, they run it halfway to us, and then we run it to Blacksburg. It's really just a great way to raise money for cancer research.
The yearly tradition began in 2003. Throughout the years, the event has raised almost $370,000 for the Jimmy V Foundation.
3D printing is all over campus, but what exactly do people 3D print? Muhammad Ali takes a look in tonight's Tech Corner.
Welcome back to Tech Corner with Muhammad Ali. 3D printing is something I've personally come to love. It always amazes me how you can create whatever you dream of. All you have to do is just design it. 3D printing has now made its way to helping people with disabilities such as blindness. Blind students use tactile surfaces such as raised line drawings and the Braille system to allow them to be able to generate a sense of the environment. 3D printing is looking to change that as an aid for teaching the blind. 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, refers to the process used to synthesize three-dimensional objects with layers of material. Simply put, it is stacking multiple layers of plastic material to create an object like this. Los Angeles educators Mike Chevery and Laura Schindler were early users of 3D printing to create models for the visually impaired to learn math and science concepts. Chevery is currently working to teach blind students to use text-based design software called OpenSCAD to create designs for screws and bolts. They're also working on 3D printing various shapes and objects for various classes. Chelsea Cook, a blind student majoring in physics, gave a TEDx talk in 2013 about her experiences at Virginia Tech learning from physics and math from 3D printed objects. Braille and textured surfaces have limitations, and when it comes to complex classes such as multivariable calculus, Chelsea reached out to Chris Williams from the Dreams Lab at Virginia Tech to help turn the complexity of calculus into objects. She's able to feel objects such as ellipsoids and parabolas to learn about integration, maximum, minimums, saddle points, and so much more, all thanks to the help of 3D printing. 3D printing has entered various markets and research areas due to its efficiency in rapid prototyping and creating. From being able to print cool objects to assisting blind students, there is no end to the usage of 3D printing in the future. That's all for Tech Corner, Muhammad Ali. See you next time.
Coming up in your Hokie sports news, Virginia Tech had their first home game of the month as they faced off against Georgia Tech. We'll give you a look inside Lane Stadium.
Plus, basketball season is back in Blacksburg. We'll show you what to expect from this year's team.
The Hokies took the field at Lane Stadium after 2 weeks on the road. Welcome to your Hokie Sports News. I'm Nick DeSimone.
And I'm Connor Doherty. With a chance to clinch the Coastal Division crown, the Hokies suffered a brutal loss at home against Georgia Tech, 30-20. Looking for the program's first ACC Coastal Division title since 2011, the Hokies couldn't stop the Yellow Jackets' signature triple option offense. Led by backup quarterback Matthew Jordan, Georgia Tech ran for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Hokies were behind the 8 ball from the start, as returner Devron Green fumbled on the opening kickoff, and the mistakes continued on as the Hokies turned the ball over 4 times. Hokies quarterback Gerard Evans threw for 316 yards, threw 1 touchdown pass, and ran for 2 other touchdowns, both of which came in garbage time to make the final score more respectable. But overall, it was a disappointing day. Evans threw 2 interceptions that ended promising drives, and the Hokies seemed very hit or miss when it came to stopping the Yellow Jackets' running attack. The Hokies traveled to South Bend today to play against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish for the first time in school history.
Basketball is back in Blacksburg, and it certainly started off with a bang as the Virginia Tech Hokies men's basketball team pounced on Maine for a convincing 80-67 win in the season opener. The sellout crowd was ready for action Friday night at Castle Coliseum, and after an emotional pregame ceremony honoring our veterans, Buzz and the boys were ready to grab their first win of the year. Zach Leday was one of 4 players to reach double-digit points on the night and recorded his first double-double of the young season with 20 points and 12 rebounds. Justin Robinson also picked up where he left off last year and posted 13 points of his own in the home opener. It was also a big night for Ahmad Hill as he returned to the court after missing all of last season with injury and put up 14 points and rattled in 3 three-pointers. The Hokies were obviously the bigger and stronger team, however it was not until the second half of play that Virginia Tech pulled away from Maine. Leading only by 8 early in the second half, Leday and Seth Allen sparked a 15-2 run that led to a game-high 21-point lead for Tech and eventually the win. The Hokies will look to build on their hot start as they host VMI at Castle Coliseum tonight at 7.
The Hokies men's and women's cross-country teams competed in the NCAA Southeast Regionals last Friday at Panorama Farms outside of Charlottesville. Led by Brent Musselman's 19th place finish, the men's team finished 6th overall. Andrew Geiser and Daniel Joskowick, 2 of the Hokies' most consistent runners all season, finished in 23rd and 25th place. All 3 men received all-region honors for their effort, the first Tech trio to make the all-region team in the same year since 1987. The women's team did great as well, finishing in 8th place. Katie Kennedy continued her strong campaign, finishing in 21st place. Kennedy also received all-region honors, the only one to receive the honor for the women's team. Both teams now wait for the NCAA tournament selection today. The teams must hope to receive one of 13 at-large bids to make the field.
Sticking with basketball, the Virginia Tech women's basketball team opened up their year with a big win as well, as they took down the Asheville Bulldogs at home 71-52. Friday's game marks the first behind new head coach Kenny Brooks and was one of great success as the Hokies forced 18 turnovers and shot 47% from the field. However, it wasn't an easy walk in the park for the Hokies, as they had to overcome a slow start and a 6-point halftime deficit. But Jeanette Hicks led the Hokies to a brilliant second half as she scored a career-high 24 points and snatched 3 steals. Hicks was one of 4 Hokies to score double digits on the night and was a big contributor to the final result. Megan McGarity also influenced the flow of the game as she nailed a 3-point shot to spark a 14-0 run for the Hokies late in the 3rd quarter. After Asheville fought back to cut the lead to single digits, Virginia Tech buckled down and outscored the Bulldogs 21-12 in the final minutes of the game and advanced to 1-0 on the season. The Hokies will be in action on Tuesday night as they travel to Charleston to take on the Cougars. Coming up, we'll have a final look at the forecast.
Stay tuned.
The sun sets behind me here after a day of on and off showers, luckily making for a very clear evening. Tomorrow we're going to have a windy day and cooler temperatures as we cool down to about the 30-degree mark. The rest of the week will warm up slightly with Monday temperatures around 40 degrees and partly cloudy skies, and same conditions for the rest of the week, warming up to about the mid-50s. So if you're here for the rest of the week, enjoy the weather, and for those of you headed home, I wish you safe travels and a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you back here next week. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Purcell.